We know we need more nutritious foods, but the idea that we have to spend our whole paycheck on the good stuff can be a stumbling block. Our next guest is here to show that clean, plant-based foods are easier and more affordable than we think. Carly Bodrug is the whiz behind the vegan lifestyle brand Plant You and the author of Scrappy Cooking and her latest book, Plant You Quickies. So good to have you, Carly. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, so Carly, food waste is something so many of us are guilty of without even realizing it all the time. So how much food are we actually throwing away? And what inspired you to help people make better use of what they already have?
It's a really shocking statistic, but the average family in America wastes up to 40% of the food they buy. So when you think about that, we could really reduce our grocery bill by just being more mindful about the food that we throw out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel extremely guilty when I know I buy some produce and then maybe a week passes and I see it there, it's rotting, and I don't wanna do that. So you're here to help us. You're showing us one of your favorite recipes today. Can you tell us what you're making and why it's a great example of turning everyday ingredients or even leftovers into something delicious?
You know, it happens to the best of us. You don't need to feel guilty. I think it all really starts with more conscious meal planning. We're so busy today that even if you just take some time on a Sunday and plan out your meals and really think about what you're going to eat, you can reduce that grocery bill a lot. So today I'm actually going to be using a really wasted ingredient, which is broccoli stems. If you're paying for broccoli by weight, it just doesn't make sense to throw the stem out. It's completely edible and it tastes something reminiscent of asparagus. So what I'm making today is actually something called broccoli stem fries. So the only part of the broccoli that you're going to want to compost or throw away is just the woody edge of the broccoli. This is really tough to eat. And then you're just going to slice your broccoli into little fry shapes like so. You can make these as thick or as skinny as you want, and you can even just throw these as is into a stir fry. But what I love to do with them is make broccoli stem fries. So I've
Oh,
got some cut up here, yeah, and we're gonna add some seasonings. It's all in the taste here. We've got some nutritional yeast, paprika, salt, and oregano. So you're just gonna toss that right on. And I also like to add some breadcrumbs, which adds a really nice crisp to these. And then keep this really easy. You can bread these, you can do a whole breading station, but I just like to add a little bit of olive oil, give them a toss. And then pop them on to your sheet pan. And with a little TV magic here, I'm gonna look and show you what they look like out of the oven because they're just
yes.
really, really delicious. And it's just giving new life to something that you would normally throw away, right?
Right.
Here we go. Look
Oh my
at
goodness.
it's actually
I
so good. And I love to serve it with a little dipping sauce.
Carly, I'm actually amazed because I'm like, yes, I always throw away the broccoli stems, and the fact that you just made fries out of broccoli, so it's giving us that nutritional value as well. I'm amazed.
Yeah, it's so great. And, you know, as a society, we're so focused on protein, but one really great way to start upping your fiber intake and eating a more diverse range of plants is by thinking about things like beet leaves, radish tops, broccoli stems, all so delicious, things we just normally discard.
Oh my goodness. And what would you say, Carly? What's the biggest mistake people make when it comes to leftovers and produce? And what's one simple habit that can help keep more food out of the trash?
Definitely that key I talked a little bit about earlier is meal planning is the name of the game. So
Mm.
before you ever head to the grocery store, shop your fridge and pantry, actually plan out what you're going to eat. I know I'm guilty of heading to the grocery store and being starving, grabbing a whole bunch of things and then not eating it for the week. The other thing is taking advantage of your freezer space. So we've
Oh.
all been there. We've got a well-intentioned box of spinach and then, you know, it gets to Wednesday, Thursday, you're like, "Oh man, I've got to eat that, but I'm going out for dinner tonight." Pop it in a freezer bag, put it in the freezer, add it to smoothies, really take advantage of that. Or even better yet, if you're somebody who maybe is a single person at home, buying frozen fruits and vegetables is a really great way to not be
Mm.
wasting food regularly.
That's such a good point. You've given me so many good tips already just by this very short conversation about how I can make sure that the produce I'm buying, I'm using it, and that it doesn't end with the shelf life once it's expired. Carly, thank you so much for all of your tips.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a blast.
Yeah, same for us. I'm going to try those broccoli stem fries when I get home. To our viewers, it's your turn to serve up affordable, satisfying plant-based meals. Find out more at plantu.com.